Okay, once I finished shaping these two bow timbers, I glued one on either side of the stem, which is here. And see here, see they're glued on right here, and glued on this side right here. And when I glued them to the side of the stem, I did not put any glue on this face here. What I did was I pushed them against the cant frames and wedged the cant frames between this last hole frame and this bow timber to hold them in place while I cut the bevels. Okay, let's take a look at the inside of the hull. Let's zoom in. And here are the last two cant frames right here and here. Got those in place, and I got the bevels cut on both sides, just like that. Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to fill in this area here and this area here. So let's go and take a look on the computer, and I'll show you what goes in here. Alright. Okay, let's go over to the computer screen and take a look at that black area here. That's the blue right here. Okay, and if we zoom in, so you can see it's made out of one timber here that goes up, and it's right here, and the second timber is right here. See it? It's wedged between the that bow timber and that and this timber. But I'm going to make this section here, this blue section, out of one piece. Okay, here you can see the three cant frames. See them? There's 1, 2, and 3. You could zoom in and take a look at that. You see them? 1, 2, and 3. And they come down. And you can see them here. Here's 1, here's 2, and here's the third one. And they all come together down here. That's the keelson right there. See it going up. So that's what we're going to make next. We're going to fill in that blue area right here. This is the deck clamps going around right there, and that's just hull or ceiling planking right there. So let's go back to the model and let's make this blue area. Okay, the first thing we have to do to fill in these two spots here is I rough cut out a couple blocks. Okay, and as you can see, they're way oversized. Okay, but we're gonna shape them into here. You see, like this. Okay, but the first thing we have to do is get the angle on this corner, because as you can see, that is not square. Okay, so I have to cut this angle first. This cardboard template right here, and I cut the angle. Okay, so I want to go back here and check it like this, and that's it. Okay, that's the angle between these two timbers. So now that I know the angle, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to my little 4-inch sander, and I'm going to set my table to the angle. So you see what I did? I set the angle to the table and the disc sander. Okay, so now I can go ahead and sand my block. Okay, now that we have our angle set on our saw, let's go ahead and cut our block. Obvious, this little 4-inch disc sander is not going to sand a block this big. So we are going to have to call in the heavy guns right here. Now this machine will definitely do it. This is a big 6-inch sander. So I'm going to go ahead and sand my blocks on this sander, and once it's done, I'll get back to you. Okay, I have my 2 bow timbers now in place, and they fit flat against this bow timber here, and they fit flat against my last can frame here, and I have the angle cut right here. So now the next thing I have to do is draw a line right here along my cant frame, and another line right here along this bow timber. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, I drew my lines here. There's the line that goes around this cant frame, and here's my line around my bow timber. So actually, this is the shape we need to cut out of this block. Right like this. Obviously, this 4-inch sander and this small scroll saw are just too small to cut this shape. So I'm going to have to take this out into the shop and cut it with the bigger scroll saw. So let me cut these and I'll get back to you. Okay, here are my 2 blocks. They're roughly cut and shaped right now. Okay, like this. And I had to go out and use the bigger tools because, like I said, these tools right here are great for hobby use, but they're not going to shape something like this. So we could take these now and put them in place just like this. See, now they're slowly coming down the size. Alright, let's take a look. Okay, here they are, and here they are. Now what I have to do is go in here and go from this point to this point and round this out. So I'm going to do that next. Okay, here, let me show you. I took these 2 blocks, and see that shape I roughly drew in down there? Well, that's what I got to do. I got to take this corner off right here. Okay, and just kind of round this out, because that goes upside down and into here. Okay, now I have to go back out into the shop and use the heavier machines and round this out. Okay, here, you can see the difference now. See how this one's getting rounded out? Okay, compared to this one, which is still square. So you can see right here the difference. Okay, so now this one is starting to fit closer into my bow. Okay, I'm just going to rough this in, and then finally when I glue all this together, then I'm going to sand everything down. But right now I just want to get it rounded out and fit in there. So now I'm going to go do this one. Okay, now I have both blocks roughed in on the outside, and they kind of look like 2 little pillows sitting on either side of the hull. Okay, see? Now that is just definitely rough shaped and roughed in, because now what we want to do is we want to go to the inside of the hull and mark it off.